Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and today we have part 2 of my favorite stables. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today is part 2 of my favorite stables in my collection, and if you haven't caught the other parts, if you didn't catch part 1, if you haven't watched the favorite tag teams in my collection, it's not just my favorite wrestlers, it's the favorite figures. So I have like I don't have the Dark Order in here. Dark Order did not make the cut, but I considered it. And Dark Order is not one of my favorite all-time groups, but I think the figures look pretty good together. So while they are more like the honorable mention, just because I throw someone in here doesn't mean that I love the in-ring work or their stories or really anything about the group. I just think their figures go great together. That is not the case for what we are starting with today. We've got the Four Horsemen, and 3 of these 4 figures came in the same pack. I decided to go with the Ultimate Edition Ric Flair just because I like it more. I like the torso for him. Same legs. He's got the skinnier legs. He's got the articulated toes there. It's a better figure than the normal Elite that they gave us, but we've got the Brain Busters, we've got Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and then we've got the Widowmaker here. We've got Barry Windham. God, I blanked on his name for a second there. But I actually, when I first got these figures, I was excited, and then it was a 4-pack from Target, and the figures, like, there were so many. So I probably bought like 10 packs of these for like $15 like each on clearance. They clears out super cheap. So I didn't value the figures that much for a long time, and then it kind of dried up, and it's not like super easy to get a hold of them. So I did come to appreciate them a little bit more, but I think they're very nice figures. I like the formulas for all of them. The Tully Blanchard especially, I like that they have the smaller calves for him. I like the torso choices for both of these guys, and I would be surprised if we never got any more figures of this group right here. And you never know with Ric Flair. Obviously he's Ric Flair. I don't need to go in depth about him, but there are some figures I'd still like of him. I think we're getting one from Jazzwares. I think. You never know. It was announced, but who knows if we'll get that. That might be good with their like their formula and their body sizes they use. But the Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, I'd love to get those guys again. I think Arn is with the company, like he's with Cody, and I think he's in relatively good standing. Barry Windham just went into the Hall of Fame, so maybe we'll get more. So Tully Blanchard, I don't know what he's doing. He wasn't AEW, he wasn't WWE, I don't know. Anyway, I think these Four Horsemen figures are fantastic. Really, every Ric Flair we get. This is the ultimate, but all his elites are fantastic as well. But wanted to start off with them today. Now we go from 4 Hall of Famers to not. We've got Team Taz, and I don't think they ever did anything in AEW. And when AEW started, I didn't know a lot of the guys, and I was like, that's all right. It's new, it's fresh. I'm gonna learn about these guys. You're gonna watch them grow into whatever. And these guys, I mean, why do we need Team Taz? I don't know. I talked in the last part about Retribution, how they got introduced, and I was like, I'll give this a chance. Like, this could be cool. Waste of time, complete waste of time. And there's plenty of groups in AEW that I feel like we have started and just gone nowhere, and there's been different reasons, but I don't know what happened with Team Taz, and maybe I just didn't pay close enough attention. But the figures I like together, and I was excited to put this team together. I was excited to get a Hook figure. I didn't really get the hype with Hook when he debuted, but I was like, whatever. It's Taz's son. It'll be cool. I was excited for like a unique look for him. The Powerhouse Hobbs, I thought really what this whole stable comes down to is I thought they were all going to be bigger, and then they weren't. So while I had some excitement and I was excited to put the team together, it ultimately meant nothing. The Taz figure I thought was cool. I don't have like an announcer or manager or anything like that Taz. This might be the only like modern Taz look we had. We never got one in TNA, I don't think. I thought the Ricky Starks figure, when I got this figure, I didn't know anything about Ricky Starks. But it's a nice figure. I think it's one of the better ones Jazzwares has given us. The Powerhouse Hobbs, I think, is a pretty solid figure as well. Like I said, I like the hook. It's not perfect. I think there's some things they could have done a little bit better, but I liked the boxing shorts. Like, I thought that was good. And then I've got my custom Wolverine Brian Cage, which used some Hulk Hogan legs, a torso from an Elite Connor of the Ascension, and then like some Rusev arms or something. And I had this sculpt and a Mohawk sculpt as well from House 14. And I think that's all of Team Taz. And let's see, Brian Cage, Hook, and Ricky Starks, and I guess Taz, all held the FTW Championship at some point, I believe. I don't remember. I think maybe Powerhouse Hobbs did as well, briefly. Which also, like, it was cool to get the FTW Championship back, but why? But why? I guess that is the story of this whole Team Taz here, but maybe you're asking yourself after the last almost 3 minutes, why? And that's okay, because I like this group of figures, and now we're moving on. Next up is another group that I did not really care for. I didn't dislike Hit Row, and I was really excited to get figures of them. And I think part of the excitement is that I just love filling my collection. I've talked about, I'm not a completionist. I don't need every single figure, but if someone's come through WWE or AEW, I would like to get a figure of them. And Hit Row literally had their figures announced and then were released around the same period, if I remember correctly. So I was excited to still get them. I think they look good together. Obviously, my Swerve is a custom. We did get a basic of him as well in green, which, even though this black and gray doesn't necessarily match with them, I think it still works. I'm happy with it. I just thought Hit Row was kind of corny. I think the idea was fine. I don't think their presentation just hit the spot. And you're gonna get that sometimes, but getting all the characters I still was really happy with. Top Dollar, which he's done good work in TNA. I've enjoyed him. I've watched a bit of his stuff, and I thought he's been pretty funny. Swerve, obviously, in AEW has done way more than he was doing in WWE, and I'm happy. I really enjoy Swerve and Prince Nana, like that, their whole shtick. Maybe not my favorite booking as far as him being world champ, but I've got a couple different Swerve customs. And then the B-Fab and the Ashanti figures, both the newer basics, so like the Ashanti Adonis figure moves around and poses really well. He's got the overalls that he came with, and I just thought they did a really good job with these figures. And even though 3 of them are basics and 1 is a custom, I thought they were worth throwing in here because I think they look pretty good together. I thought they did a pretty solid job. Oh, I guess the Top Dollar is also on that new articulation as well. So wanted to get these in here, but moving on. Next up is what I imagine would be a lot of people's favorite collection of figures, or one of their favorite staples in their collection, just because everyone wanted these attires and it was quite the journey to get them. So we've got the Undisputed Era here in one of their 3 War Games attires. They wore their this yellow and gray camo gear, and I think I'm trying to remember. I think Bobby Fish was Elite 90 or 91, somewhere in that range. Nope, 79. I'm completely blanking. Let's go with 78 and 79. I think that we got Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly in back-to-back Elite sets. The normal versions were the camo, and then they had chase versions that were in black and yellow, which was another matching attire, which we got. And the chases for those were a matching attire for the TakeOver Elite Adam Cole that was in that apparently was voted for over the camo attire. So then we got Elite 92, and that had the camo attire for Adam Cole, which also had a chase figure in a Jaguars teal kind of look. And then Roderick Strong here, I don't remember what Elite said he was, but obviously he's got that camo as well. And that was the only Elite we ended up getting of Roderick Strong, I'm pretty sure. We were supposed to get one in the NXT TakeOver line that we didn't get, but all that matters today is that we got all 4 of them in their matching attire, and I didn't have to customize any, which is awesome. So I think this is the best Adam Cole we've gotten from Jazzwares or Mattel. I like that he's got swappable hands, double jointed arms. He's got the tattoo on his forearm there. I think this is probably the best sculpt we've gotten. I haven't hated Jazzwares sculpts, but I really don't like their formula and everything for Adam Cole, so that gives a little bit bias there. But we are getting Kyle O'Reilly. Bobby Fish has left AEW, so we're not getting a figure there from him, and he's in like NWA now, I'm pretty sure, mostly. He was in TNA briefly. I don't know where the lie is there. Someone can correct me, I'd appreciate that. But I had to get Undisputed Era in here. I do have them all in their red War Games attire as well. And then like the yellow and black Chase figures, I have those. But then I don't have the Roderick Strong. So this was my favorite set of them, with all 4 having matching attires. So I wanted to get Undisputed Era in here. But we have one more very large stable to wrap things up today. And the last stable we are ending with today is going to be the Nexus. And I'm not going to talk painstakingly about every single Elite in this stable here, because there is a lot and it's just going to keep going. So first off, we have Wade Barrett. So I'm just going to go through the normal Elites, and I don't know the series for these ones. I was not collecting yet. I didn't start collecting Mattel until they were like 20 series in for the Elite line. So I missed out on a few that I've obviously picked up again on the secondary market and stuff, but I don't remember exactly which set. So first off, we have Wade Barrett. Then we've got Justin Gabriel, and I think there might be like a pink version as well. I could be wrong on that. I swear there's another Justin Gabriel like that. I did head swap it from his basic, I believe. And then, okay, now that I look at this, we don't have that many normal Elites to get through. So that's it. Everything else is a custom. So those are the only 2 Elites. We got a bunch of basics. I think we got almost everyone in basic form. Next up, we have a Heath Slater. So I have the shirts on all of them. This is just painted right here, very simple. We did get a basic, so both of these heads are in the. I use the arms from their basics because it was when Elites and basics had the same articulation. Next up, we have a custom Skip Sheffield, again with the basic head. And let me just take a peek before we keep moving on. So instead of just saying that every time, I'm just going to look here and tell you that every head is from a basic version. So you could technically get most of the Nexus, just not in Elite form. So on the list next, we've got my Elite Custom Darren Young. That was a pain. That one took a while to put together. I used a rock body for the base, obviously, basic head and arms, and then I used some, I think, Ricochet lower legs and Heath Slater boots there to finish that one off. Here I used a Booker T body and basic head and arms for my Michael Tarver. Who I might have forgotten in my Nexus showcase. I feel like I accidentally forgot him when I did that. Then we've got a Michael McGillicuddy. I had to think about that. Michael McGillicuddy or Curtis Axel. I just took a Curtis Axel Elite, threw the shirt on him, and I do need to I have his tights are just plain black, so I need to finish that custom entirely. But there's Michael McGillicuddy. Next up, we have David Otunga, and he's essentially the same formula as Darren Young. I think he's got one of the more ripped rock torsos, but still kind of the same process for his lower legs there. Then we do have, so this is a full custom I did on Work in Progress Wednesday with that Darren Young, I believe, but I've got my Elite Husky Harris here, which is one reason that it took me so long just to finish the Nexus, was because I couldn't get a good sculpt of Husky Harris, so I had to wait. Hederation had that one, I think, and then I I've seen a couple other ones, but that's always my go-to, obviously. If you've been around on the channel, you know Hedoration's who I typically go to. And then we have a couple more here just to round things out. So this was a new Nexus member here, but we have a Mason Ryan with a knee pad that I still have not swapped back to my Adrian Neville Elite there. But I used a Ultimate, I used a Batista. I used a Batista. That was it. And we'll tuck him behind here. And then speaking of the new Nexus, we have my new Nexus Punk that I did in the gray attire, which we did just get the Pipe Bomb. Gosh, couldn't think of it. The Pipe Bomb CM Punk that came with the Nexus armband, which I thought was really cool. This is the shirt that we originally got. I've got his Nexus band there. Gave him the frosted tips, like only very few people should rock nowadays. Which this isn't a modern Punk, but we'll cut him some slack there. But that is everyone as far as, I guess I got Ezekiel Jackson somewhere, but I don't know if he was in the Nexus or if he was just a part of the core after the Nexus split up. But that is going to be it. That's my whole Nexus collection right there. I guess Daniel Bryan, I've got him somewhere, but I don't have him in his Nexus shirt or anything. Or in just like that plain maroon attire. So this is who I went with as far as the Nexus goes, and I'm very happy with this collection. The only thing I'm not happy about is that I need a couple more shirts for Husky and Darren Young here. But if you like this, if you like the Nexus, if you like any of the other stables, if there's still some more stables you'd like to see, I'd like to see your suggestions in the comment section, opinions, whatever you have. If you want to talk about any kind of figures, I'm always open for it. If you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate it. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, and remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.